There's nothing that I love more in this world than animals. And that's, again, something that was in me since I was a little kid. I always wanted to rescue birds, and I would go in the yard and take pictures of squirrels. I wanted to be the Jane Goodall of squirrels. I saw a movie on Jane Goodall, and so I wanted to research squirrels. So I'd go in the yard and I'd take pictures of them. I'd observe their behavior. So I always loved animals. And when I travel, one of the most heartbreaking things for me is seeing animals in the third world. I mean, places where people can barely feed themselves, you can hardly expect them to take care of the animals. And that's always very hard to see. And so as soon as I got my first apartment, the first thing I got was a cat because I really wanted a pet. And I went to a shelter, and he was the first one I saw, and was love at first sight. And he was my best little friend for 10 years. I say it in past tense because now he's retired with my parents in Virginia because he got tired of living with dogs. So he left about a year ago. He's living the good life, getting lots of wet food and toys and attention. And then my husband and I wanted a dog. So after we got married, we got a dog right away. We called her our honeymoon dog. We found her on the internet during our honeymoon. And then she seemed to be very lonely, and she had tons of energy. We would come home and she would be pouncing on us constantly. So we thought she needed a playmate. So we went out and we got her a dog who was an adult dog. It was we got her as a puppy. We got him as an adult rescue. He had lived on the streets his whole life. It was a very different process in trying to domesticate, and I say domesticate loosely, but domesticate an animal that grew up on the streets of Brooklyn because he's tough. But what's interesting is that underneath all that toughness, all he wanted was a belly rub. You know, now that he understands he's going to get food every day, he's going to get water every day, we're never going to hurt him, he's the biggest softie you could ever meet. He lays on his back, he's just a mush mush. All he wants is love and affection. And that's very, very gratifying to see a dog that came in literally baring his teeth. He would walk around the house like this. We were like, what is that dog doing? And now he's just the sweetest, softest thing. And so I love them. My husband is the only limit on the amount of animals that we have. If it was not for him, I would probably have 10. I'd be the crazy cat person. But he drew the line at 3. And so that's where we are.